Okay, everybody, this is a guided walkthrough for level number 29 from the Temperance CTF labs from HackMyVM.eu. So in each one of these levels, we've got a mission. We need to fulfill the mission in order to complete the exercise. So it says in this mission, you will receive 2 coordinates. You must calculate how many kilometers there are between them and return the result with 3 decimal places. So for example, we're going to see latitude 23, longitude 21. And we're going to subtract latitude 25, longitude 16, and we're going to return this number over here that is accurate to 3 decimal places. So we need to figure out how to do this in Python. So before we do that, let's just take a look at what we've got for our code right now. So in our code now, we've got the code from level number 28, and we're just going to remove some parts of the code that we're not going to be using. So we've removed our import for JWT. We're not dealing with that anymore. And what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be importing the socket module. So the socket module is how Python deals with communication over a networking port, or an arbitrary networking port in this case. We're going to need a host and a port number. So the host we're going to be communicating with temperance.hackmyvm.eu. The port number is 9988. And the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a socket object with the socket module. So with socket.socket, socket.afnet, socket.sockstream as s.connect, host and port. So we create a socket object called s in this case, and then we connect with the socket object by using the connect function over here, over the host and port, which is this over here. So Temperance and 9988. So the next thing we do is we use the socket object to receive data. So we print something out, we define a variable, data, and we do s.receive. So we're going to receive a number of bytes from the server. In this case, it's going to be a kilobyte, 1024. We're going to print out what we receive from the server, and then we need to select the level. We need to send something to the server. In this case, it's going to be bytes. So anything that you receive from the socket, anything that you send to the socket, it has to be bytes. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And in this case, we're going to send the level we want to select, which is level number 29. So the next thing we do is we receive the challenge from the server, basically the data that we need to work with. So we send, or we receive more data from the server, and we save that as data 2. What we're going to do is we're going to comment out everything that comes after this part of the script, just so we can work with what we have right now to make sure it works. So we're just going to write out what we have here for the script, and then in another window, we're just going to run the script. Okay, so we received this, latitude 71, longitude 59, minus latitude 13, longitude 29. So we're going to have to figure out how to do these calculations with latitude and longitude, or these are coordinates. We're going to do a search on Google. So Python latitude, longitude calculation module. Okay, so we're going to get a handy dandy. So several Python modules are available for performing calculations, involving latitude and longitude. Okay, we got GeoPy, we've got Haversign. I wonder if GeoPy is part of the standard library. So we like to use standard libraries because standard libraries means we don't have to install anything on our system, which is not something we like to do. So we can just test to see if GeoPy is a standard library. Okay, there's no GeoPy. So we're going to have to, I think all of these are non-standard libraries. So Haversign and lat.lon.calc. The module focuses on handling latitude and longitude values as objects and performing operations like calculating distances, headings, and intermediate points. I mean, this seems like it fits what we want to do the most, lat/lon calc. Let's see if this is a standard library. So we'll test import lat/lon calc. Okay, so this is not a standard library, but you know what? We're gonna install it. So in order to install these non-standard libraries, we usually want to use a virtual environment to do this, because otherwise we could get into a really messy situation. So we're going to set up our virtual environment for Python in here. So Python m venv myenv. Then we run virtual env myenv virtual env myenv. Okay, and then we can run source myenv bin activate, and then now we're in our virtual environment. So from here we can start importing and installing different modules, and it's not going to affect the rest of our system. So we're going to do pip install lon, is it lat/lon? Lat/lon calc. Okay, so it looks like it should be installed now. So let's see if we can install the thing. Or let's see if we can import. So Python import lat/lon calc. Okay, so that worked. So that means the module is installed. So let's figure out how to use the thing. So Python lat/lon calc distance calculator. Okay, so we've got some, I guess we've got the documentation for the module here. Okay, so how do we use this thing? So import the classes. From lat/lon calc.lat/lon import lat/lon longitude latitude. Create a lat/lon object from coordinates. Okay, create a lat/lon object from formatted string. Perform some calculations. Okay. Print the distance. Okay, this all seems pretty. It should be pretty easy to implement. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to define the latitude and longitude for two points. And I guess what we need to do first is we need to import the classes here. So we're just going to copy this. We're going to insert it into our code. And then what are we doing here? So create a lat/lon object from coordinates. Okay, so latitude, lat/lon, latitude, longitude. So I guess this would be, we could call this like this variable we could call like location 1, and it's going to be location 1 minus location 2. All right. So I guess the first thing we need to do is, before we do all this, we need to convert the bytes to a string, because I'm pretty sure that this module doesn't work with bytes. Most modules don't work with bytes. Most modules work with numbers and strings. So what we're going to do here is we're going to convert the bytes to a string, and we're just going to call this coordinate string. So coord, maybe coord string, and we're just going to call this data2. We're going to decode from UTF-8, and we're just going to print it out because we want to print stuff out to make sure that everything is working. This message will be, these are the coordinates in string form. Then just print that out. Coord string. Okay. So we're just going to make sure that this works. Python level 29. Okay, so these are the coordinates in string form, latitude 29, longitude 13. So it says minus latitude 36, longitude 43. So we just need to create these objects here with the coordinates. Okay, so this is going to be the next step. So the next step is, I guess the next step is going to be grabbing and defining these numbers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this string into a list so that we can get the numbers from here. Okay, so the next step is separate the string into a list. So I'm pretty sure we can use the split method to do this. So let's see. It's going to be coord string dot split, and we're just going to split by these spaces here. Okay, we're just going to call this coord list, and we're going to print it out. So this is the string converted to a list. So this is going to be coord list, print that out, and then we're going to see if this works. So if it works, we can continue. Okay, this is the string converted to a list. We've got our numbers over here, and we just need to keep track of where these are. So the latitude is going to be, let's see. So this is element 0. Element 0, we got element 1, element 3, and then I think it's element 4 and element 6. Okay, so let's see. So after we've turned the string into a list, we can extract some stuff. So extract the numbers. In this case, we're going to define a number of different variables. So it's going to be latitude 1. We're going to do longitude 1. We're going to do latitude 2, and we're going to do longitude 2. So latitude 1 is going to be coord list, and we're going to be doing this a lot. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it over and over again. Just like this. Okay, so the coordinate list, so latitude 1 is going to be element 2, element 1. So this is element 1, and the longitude is element 3. So the latitude for latitude and longitude 2 is going to be element minus 3 and minus 1 for the last one. Okay, so I guess we're going to print out something here as well, just so we can, keep track of what we're actually recording. And one thing we need to do is we need to make sure that these are numbers. So these are everything that's copied over using the split method is going to be a string. So we need to make sure that these are integers. So we're just going to use the integer version of all of these things. I really should have thought of this before. So we're just going to apply the integer function to all these things. Okay, and I guess we can print out a message. These are the raw coordinates. And I guess we're gonna print out all that stuff. Okay, so lat1, lon1, lat2, and lon2. Okay, comment all this out, write it out, and then run the script again. Okay, these are the raw coordinates. We got these numbers, and let's go ahead and create those objects. So the tutorial here says that, yeah, we've got 2 variables for locations. I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this format. We're gonna put it in our code. So this is gonna be, this step is creating the coordinate objects, or I guess location objects. Okay, so this is not going to be Palmyra, it's going to be location 1. Okay, so location 1 and location 2. And we'll just replace these over here. So latitude is going to be lat1 and lon1. And lon2 and lat2. Okay, and then we can print out a little message here as well. So these are the 2 location objects. Print off the first one, location 1, and then another new line, location 2. Comment everything out, and then run the script again, see if it works. All right, so write that out. Okay, so I think this is working. So let's go ahead and do the calculation now. So according to the perform some calculations. So distance equals something. Print distance. Palmyra dot distance Honolulu. Ah, okay, okay. So we can just copy this directly, and it'll give us the distance in kilometers. So this step is calculating the distance. Okay, distance equals location 1 dot distance location 2. I guess we can print that out. Print f string. This is the distance between location 1 and location 2. New line, and then print distance. Okay, let's see if this works. This is the distance between location 1 and location 2. Nan. Something Something went wrong here. Nan means not a number. Hold on. Before we proceed, I guess we're gonna do one more little test. So print type for distance. I mean, this should be a number, but who knows? Class float. Okay. Why weren't we able to print off the if it's a floating point number, then why are we not able to print this out? I'm a little bit confused. Can we just print it out directly? Let's just try printing it out. Okay, let's... So print distance. Okay, so this is a number. I'm not too sure why we're not able to print it out. So the last thing we need to do is we need to cut this off at 3 decimal places and then send this back to the server. I guess we could, let's see. I guess we're not going to do this as an F string. We're going to do it like this. Okay. Okay, so this is the distance between location 1 and location 2. Oh. Okay, let's do that again. This is the distance between location 1 and location 2, and then we got this big number. I guess we need to chop this off. So how do we round this off? It shouldn't be too hard. So Python round float to 3 digits. Or 3 decimal places. Okay, so how do we do this? To round a float to 3 decimal places in Python, the built-in round function can be utilized. So rounded number equals round number 3. Okay, and I guess we're just going to do that over here. Format the number to 3 decimal places. So the rounded number, I guess we're going to call this the rounded distance, is going to be distance round distance 3. And we can print out a message, print f string, this is the rounded distance. Rounded distance. Okay. Run the code. This is the distance between location 1 and location 2. It says not a number. This is the rounded distance, also not a number. I don't like this. Why is this not working? So sometimes it works and sometimes we get not a number. Why? Why? Um, you know what? We'll figure it out if the server doesn't accept our answer. We'll start doing some debugging. Okay, so if this is the correct way to do it, the last thing we need to do before we send back the challenge is we need to convert the string or the integer or whatever it is. Actually, wait. Do we need to? We might have to convert this into a string first because this is going to be a float. So convert the float into a string, then the string into bytes. So this is, I mean, it's pretty easy. We do it like just like this. So distance string equals rounded distance, but the string version of it, and then distance bytes is going to be equal to distance string dot decode from UTF-8. So because, let's see. So, oh, this is going to be encode. So decode to convert bytes to string, but we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to encode from UTF-8. I guess the coordinates cannot be negative. So if we get NaN, we could calculation location 2 minus location 1. Yeah, but it's always going to be location 1 minus location 2. So I'm assuming that the first set of coordinates is location 1, and the second set of coordinates is location 2. It says here minus, so I'm not sure. Okay, but you know what? Let's just complete this part. Print off. This is going to be encode. This is the distance converted into bytes. Print off, what is it? Distance bytes. Okay. Run the script again. So this is the distance converted into bytes. Okay, and I guess we find out right now whether or not it's actually going to work. So we're just going to send the challenge back. So we're going to send bytes. I guess we're just going to call this bytes here as well. So send the challenge byte, s.send the bytes, and then receive the flag, hopefully. Okay, so that worked. We received a flag. The flag is HMV where I am lost. Where I am lost. Okay. So before we finish off this exercise, let's talk about what we did in the code. So in the code here, we imported the socket. We imported the latitude longitude calculator, which we installed, and then we connected to the host or connected to the server. We sent the level we want to access, which is level number 29. We received some information which we needed to convert into bytes first, and then separate that into a string. So from there, we extracted the numbers. For instance, if we got these numbers, this list over here, we've got some numbers. We extracted those numbers to create our latitude and longitude for the two coordinates, or for the two locations. We then created some location objects using the latitude longitude functions inside of the latlon calculator module. Then we calculated the distance between those two locations, and we printed those. We printed them out. We rounded them off to 3 decimal places. Then we sent it back to the server. But actually, before that, we turned those into bytes, and then we sent it back to the server, and then we got the flag. So we're just going to finish the exercise by submitting this flag over here. Okay, we need to log in again. Oh, geez. Okay. HMB Labs, Temperance, flags. Okay, let's submit that flag. Flag submitted successfully. Okay, great. All right, everybody, that was a guided walkthrough for level number 29 from the Temperance CTF Labs on HackMyVM.eu. If you enjoyed this guided walkthrough, please click on the like and subscribe buttons in the videos and leave a comment underneath the video. But until next time, HackerFrogs out.
Hey there, HackerFrogs! Are you enjoying this workshop? Learning new concepts and skills? If so, there's a way you can support the channel, and it's totally free. Just click on the subscribe button below the video. Also, click on the like button. And if you have questions or comments on this workshop, please leave them below the video. Thanks for listening. And now, back to our scheduled programming.